Hey guys, it's Jeff, and today we're talking about iOS 13 Developer Beta 3. A lot of you have been asking, when are we going to see the third developer beta and of course the second public beta as well. And then we'll also talk about any possible new features that we should be seeing in some of these upcoming betas of iOS 13. So let's go ahead and get started. This video is sponsored by CyberGhost VPN, and unlike other VPN services out there, CyberGhost doesn't spy on your internet usage or collect and sell your data. What they also do is provide you the fastest VPN service possible each time you connect, but you also have a really cool option where you can select from streaming servers dedicated to individual streaming services like Hulu, HBO, Amazon, Netflix, YouTube Red, you get the idea. So go check out CyberGhost VPN in the video description below. They can support your iPhone, Mac, PC, and Android devices, all for just $2.75 a month. Okay, so first thing is first, when should we be seeing the third developer of iOS 13? Well, my prediction is this coming Monday or Tuesday, July 1st or July 2nd. That would be following the typical 14-day structure that Apple usually follows when it comes to these first betas after WWDC, and that would be right on line with 14 or 15 days. So expect to see a release of iOS 13 Developer Beta 3 either this coming Monday or Tuesday, July 1st or July 2nd. Now, what about the public beta? Because we actually did see a new public beta, the public beta 1, come this week, and it would be kind of weird to have that coming out just a week after. So we might be seeing it as typically we see public betas the same day, maybe a couple hours later, maybe even at the same time as the developer beta, or the next day at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But my prediction is actually that we might be getting staggered public betas. So as the developer betas come out, we might be seeing a public beta the week after so that we get very consistent results week to week rather than every 2 weeks. So we might be seeing public beta 2 actually coming next week, next Monday, not on July 1st or July 2nd. So stay tuned for more news on that. It's very interesting that Apple did release such like an early version of a public beta only on developer beta 2. So I do expect to see developer beta 3 and then a public beta maybe the week after that release, just so that we get the most stable build possible out to the public. Now, let's talk about any possible new features coming to iOS 13 Developer Beta 3. I'm not really expecting much from the Developer Beta 3 simply because we already have a ton of new features in Beta 1 and Beta 2, but I do expect to see some sort of integration of the spam call detection system that Apple referred to at WWDC. Apple did say that would be live in the fall of this year, 2019, so I do expect to see some sort of integration of that spam call detection in iOS 13 developer betas. I say that because we do need some practice with this spam call detection. You can't just release something that big and not have it beta tested. I think that we do need some beta testing with that spam call detection, and I fully expect Apple to be releasing that within the developer beta. So stay tuned for more news on that. We already do have the kind of blocked caller, silent unknown caller feature. That's good and all, but to me it doesn't work as well as spam call detection. I would definitely love spam call detection more than the already kind of protective features that Apple has placed into the phone app, specifically in the settings app. Now, the second thing that I'm looking for in developer beta 3 is actually new emoji. New emoji is always a fun topic to kind of talk about because people love their emoji, but we haven't seen new emoji in quite a long time now, and I do expect to see some new emoji in iOS 13 developer betas. Fingers crossed for that one though, but those are the only two things that I expect to see within iOS 13. I think Apple has kind of nailed down a ton of features that we wanted to see in iOS 13, and I'm not going to ask for too much more as we move on in these developer betas. Apple has already delivered, and I don't think that speculating about any possible far out there features that weren't even announced with WWDC will be coming in these betas. They might be coming with the official release, and they might be in relation to the new iPhones that will be coming out and kind of the new features that will go along with those devices. So guys, don't give your hopes up. I don't expect to see any major new features coming to iOS 13, but of course, keep your fingers crossed. Now, what about the new features that we have already seen? I do expect to see some kind of improvement on those new features because I think that they could become a little bit more streamlined to work fully with the user experience in iOS 13. So things like an emoji, Memoji, even dark mode UI. Some of the dark mode kind of UI could be tweaked a little bit to be a little bit nicer. 3D touch definitely needs to come back. We all miss 3D touch, and I hope that comes back and works well within iOS 13. And the Files app. Now, the Files app is interesting. Right now, you can actually connect to a server within the Files app and kind of view documents there. But within macOS currently, I can actually go into the Finder app and view files on another Mac computer in my household and kind of drag and drop files from that computer. So that would be like super helpful to have on an iOS device. It would make the integration of kind of the Files app with Finder, almost seamless. And then of course, there wouldn't be that kind of need for AirDrop anymore. You would just have kind of that integration of, the Finder in the Files app and being able to access files on another computer. My fingers are definitely crossed for that one. I don't know if that's going to happen. I expect to see a lot of security protocol along with that, but I do hope that it comes because it would actually make a lot of things that I do, really, really easy to work with, just getting files from, multiple computers without having to AirDrop and, go physically to that computer. Now, some other things that I do expect for iOS 13 Developer Beta 3, I really can't consider these any new features, but I do expect to see some UI changes, maybe some small UI changes throughout iOS 13, possibly to Control Center, home screen, and areas where Apple may want to define iOS 13 apart from iOS 12 UI-wise, making very small minimal changes here and there throughout the UI experience. So I don't expect to see any major UI changes now that we're already in Developer Beta 3, but maybe some small ones here and there to kind of again, make iOS 13 apart from iOS 12 because obviously, iOS 12 was kind of in line with iOS 11. So we definitely want to see, some difference in between versions of iOS, and maybe those small differences would make that possible. So guys, that is all the news that we have on iOS 13 Developer Beta 3. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Of course, when do you think it's going to come out? What new features do you want to see? What new features do you think that we are going to see in the next developer beta? And most importantly, are you on the public beta, developer beta? What do you want to see in both of those versions? Let me know in the comment section down below. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section down below, or you can go check out our Discord server where we talk about everything that we discuss here on the channel over on the Discord server, and you can actually contact me personally through Discord, and I'll be sure to answer all of your questions directly through that app. There's a link down below just in case you want to go ahead and check that out. You can of course follow me on Twitter. I answer messages there as well, and I give some channel updates on Twitter. I'm getting a little bit more active there, and I'd love to see you over there on Twitter. Link also in the video description below. So thank you guys for watching this video on iOS 13 Developer Beta 3, kind of like talking about the release date, possible new features, and all of that. I hope you enjoyed the content. Make sure to go ahead and get subscribed if you want to stay up to date with Developer Beta 3, the official release of that version, and kind of get all the latest news and new features that we see in that Developer Beta version. And also hit the bell button to get updates as soon as that content is released. So again, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I see you in some upcoming content. Peace.